Barbara Drake here. Welcome to my channel, Craft with Barbara Drake. And today I am going to make a Slimline gift card. It's the first time I've ever made one, and perfect timing because I have a grandson who's having a birthday coming up very soon. So I thought this is a great way to go ahead and make him a card. I really think he'll like it, and I hope you do too. But I'm using the Hats Off stamp set, and when I first saw it I wasn't so sure I wanted it, but I am so glad I made the decision to make it, because you know how difficult, it's very challenging, I can say, for making masculine cards, but this can be used for all genders. You know, change the color of the hat if you wanted to make it more feminine. But we have Father's Day coming up, they have the dad stamp in here. And I will be using the dies with it too, which is probably the best part of it. And it is Pinterest inspired, so I did not come up with the design on my own. And in the first clip I'm going to show you, it's the trimmer, because it's going to have 2 score lines in it, so I wanted to point that out on how that's done. So I hope you enjoy this video as much as I had fun making it. So let's get started. When you're cutting your card base, it's going to be at 8.5 by 10. So your cardstock is already 8.5 by 11, so you only have to cut 1 inch off. So we're going to cut 1 inch. I like to just go this way with it here at the 1 inch mark. Get that even. And then I'll show you where the where I put the score marks. So here is our 10 by 8.5. So there is our 8.5 by 10. I always like to double check. So on your 10-inch edge, this is where your score lines are going to go, on the 10-inch side. So you're going to score it at 3 3/4, and always make sure you're picking your score tool. I'm not sure if you can see that if I am inside here. There we go. And not the cutting blades. Let me get this back up at 3 3/4. Score it there. And at 7.5. I see my camera stand might be in the way here. 7.5. Again, make sure you have your score blade. So that's where your score lines are going to be. In the next clip, and then just go ahead and fold them up. This is where your money pocket is going to be. And you can use your bone folder. It's going to go like that. So I just wanted to show you on the trimmer where your score lines are going to go. I wanted to point out in the stamp set, the stamps read, "Life is great." You have a sunset, you have a dad, a mountain scene, #1, I'm your #1 fan, you're the best, here's to the next adventure, to the guy that wears many hats, go team, go get 'em Tiger, and then you have your big hat stamp, and you have a rocket and a tiger here. And then for the dies, besides the cutouts here that would go with the shapes over here, you have a tree, looks like a lightning bolt, a fish, a buffalo, and a star, and then you have the bigger hat die, and then a mini hat die. I want to show you the pieces of cardstock and the sizes that I'm using. And I used shaded spruce for the card base, and it's cut at 8.5 by 10, and I scored it on the 10-inch edge at 3 3/4 by 7.5. So this, when you fold it up, the finished size will be 8.5 by 3 3/4. For my layers, fold that back up. This is a piece of basic black, which is cut at 3.5 by 8 1/4, which will go on here like this. The white piece that I will be doing the stamping on, this is basic white at 3 1/4 by 8 inches. And the inside piece will be cut at, and it will go down here on the bottom half, at 2 1/4 by 8 1/4. And then I will cut out a, I'll take a punch half circle and just cut out like a moon shape here, because these two sides down here will be glued down, so you can tuck a card, gift card in here, or cash. So this will be a Slimline gift card. Now let me get these measurements off. I will have all the measurements listed on my blog, which will be listed below the video. You can go to that website and everything will be listed there, along with the products that I used. So the first thing I want to show you in the stamp set here, and the dies, the hat's off, and this is the hat builder dies. These are photopolymer. Don't let this stamp set fool you. There is a lot you can do with this, not just for masculine cards, but very well you can turn this into female, you know, depending on the colors that you use. And you don't necessarily have to use the stamps here that they are showing that you can put here on the hat. For instance, I am using, because this is for one of my grandsons, I am going to use the To an Amazing Grandson stamp that I will put here on the hat like so. So, you know, whatever stamps that you have, you may have alphabet stamps that you could, you know, put a letter up there or whatever. And then the dies, we get 15 dies in here. And I found it easier to stamp out the image first. Die cut your image out first, and then use your stamp and line it up and as best as you can. I used the Stamparatus when I did it, and then line it up the best you can on here. And I used the black Memento. So I found it easier to cut the die cut first, then stamp the image out. Then for this piece here, all of them have an outer cut edge, and then these three here, and then you have a stitched edge. So what I did was I just used the outer to cut out the sentiment. Now if you wanted it to have a stitched look around it, which is, I didn't care for this, but I'm just showing you, what you would do is here, you know, say you stamped your image out, put your stitched die over it first, because that's all it's going to give you. It's not going to cut it out. It's just going to give you that stitched look. Then you would place this die over top to get it to die cut out, and then it would look like this. I just thought the sentiment is too big in there. It gets lost. So that's how those work. Again, these are just stitched pieces. It will not cut your paper out, just to give you the stitched look. And you do have a circle one here. So that's it for the dies. And for the sentiment that I'm going to be using happy and birthday on this for the biggest wish. So I've got those already mounted on my blocks. So the first thing we're going to do is get to stamping. So I'm going to use this, put my little pieces off here to the side. Hopefully I won't lose them. So some people will use the Stamparatus for this. I found it easier, honestly, just to judge where I'm going to put these. I'm going to put 3 happies right on top like that, and then the word birthday out here to the side. This was a Pinterest inspired card that I saw. So the first color I'm going to stamp with is going to be the soft succulent. And let me try this out here. I just re-inked this last night, so hopefully we'll see what I get here. I need to get a piece of scrap out. I keep hearing something. I'm rolling over a piece of tape. All right. Maybe I didn't put enough refill in it. Not liking the way that's turning out. I think I'm going to put some more ink in it. I added a little bit more re-inker to it. We'll see how this works. They say if you huff on it, to get your breath on it, the hot air kind of helps it. So we'll see how this goes on. You can tell I had a lot of ink on that one from re-inking it. And then my next color I'm going to use, I'll use my chamois to clean that color off. I'm going to use the basic gray next. Actually, I should have kept the soft succulent out and used the word. Oh, I don't think I came up high enough on that. Just gonna get it up. Okay, that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna have to cut another piece out. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. I cut another piece. And we'll do this soft succulent again. Use that piece there as my... Now, I'm going to go up as high as I can without going off the edge on this. This way I can get... sorry if my head's in the way. I'm going to get 3 of them on here. I'll try to. And then we're going to do the word birthday. Didn't look too sporty. go. That was using the soft succulent. Let me clean my stamps off to get the color off. I use my chamois. I'm going to go to the basic gray. I'm going to go right up underneath the other one. Probably should do the bottom one first, but that's okay. I did it on scrap paper yesterday and they all seem to fit. There we go for that one. Clean that color off. Oops, open that color back up for the word birthday. Try to get it as straight as possible. Now I've chose these colors because his football team that he likes, these are the colors of his football team. And then next is Shaded Spruce. Like I said, you can have fun with this, putting whatever you want on the hat. If they have, you know, whatever their football team or baseball team that they choose to root for. There we go. Now I think this should fit right on here without going off the bottom. There we go. I could have came up a little bit. Clean that off. Go to this one here. That really looked dark there. Looks like it come off the edge there. Clean this off. Okay, now I'm going to take my base. I'm going to go ahead and get this glued on here. Whoa, came out in a big glob. There we go. Now as far as the hat goes, you can, where the stitch line is there, you can kind of just fold that up a little bit, and then when it goes down it gives you like a three-dimensional look. Now I had tried on another one to put down like some dimensionals under here. The problem was you could really see it, you know, when you held it up like that. It just, I don't know, I didn't like it. So I'm just going to glue down this part of the hat. You could use tear and tape if you wanted, if you didn't want to use tape or glue. And you could also, if you wanted, you could run this layer here under in an embossing folder. I had here's some hats that I did that here's a plain one here. But I ran this one through the Tasteful Textile. Just gives it, you know, some texture there. And this one was painted texture. That was Tasteful Textile. This one here kind of reminded me of like a hunting hat. And you know, I think it was last year they had the stamp set, the camouflage. That would be really neat to stamp that, you know, either on colored cardstock or just plain the basic white, to have like a the camouflage hat. So there's different things, and like I said, I've seen them where they take your base layer here and run it through an embossing folder. Before I go any farther, I want to take this piece here, and I'm not going to put, I'm just going to add this little hat down here because probably just write a sentiment down here. Oh, wait a minute, I know what I wanted to do. I gotta get my little piece on there, and that can go using a mini dimensional. I can put that on with a regular dimensional to make that stand out. Put a couple of them on there. I do plan on making several of these hats according to whatever the person is into. Like I thought about making a pink one for female and using the animal print embossing folder on it, and maybe have some like paws on there for animals because they're into, you know, loving the animal lover. Put this little hat down here in the corner. And this is the one I want here. It's kind of hard to see getting that laying on there with that open like that. So I think I may use some tear and tape on here just to make sure it's going to stay down. The problem is getting it on there straight, really straight. You don't get any wiggle room with this. Across the middle there. Oh. Now I'm making sure I get this on there right. That will be my front. Alright, I got a little too close down at that edge, but that's okay. Now here is where you really want to make sure it's going to stick down. that. This is the first card that I'm making that is a gift holder. But I can see I'm going to have to make more of these. There you go. So I wanted to measure to see how thick you can, I lost my scissors. Exactly how wide you could get this. Should have had some Monopoly money out just to test. Yeah, see, so you're getting probably from here to about there, you're getting about 7.5 inches. So again, you know, dollar bills or even a gift card can go in there. And now, I didn't mean to seal that because I wanted to cut a little U shape out with my circle punch. But that's what I will do that later. And then so this piece will go on like that, and then it will be done. I think I want to use tear and tape again because this is fairly, with the 2 layers and the hat on there, I know I'm taking a chance. Well, live and learn, right? I don't know. Or actually, I could have used some seal. Let me try that. I should have used the Seal Plus. Alright, well, let's see how we do on this. So I got a little combination of Seal Plus and tear and tape. Let's try it like this. Okay, I came down a little bit down at the bottom. Okay, I could have came up a little bit more at the top, but it looks good. And I know that's stuck down because that tape is strong tape. So there is the card. Now you can do what you want to put on the inside. I like to write a sentiment, or actually I like to use the computer in words. That way I can use whatever font that I want. I like to write something up in my cards. So that is the gift card Slimline. And here is another card that I made for someone that I know that has a birthday in June that will love this card. And I chose these colors because I know this is his football team color. And I made this a mini Slimline. And I embossed that with the, was one of those, which one was it? I think it was this one here. Yes, it was the Tasteful Textile. And I used, was it, I think it was basic gray. It was the lighter gray. Maybe it was. Because gray, I don't think it was gray granite. No, that has a smoky slate. I used a smoky slate cardstock, and what I did is I cut the hat out twice, and then once in the smoky slate, and then Night of Navy, and then I just cut the bottom part off and used it down there like that. So again, have fun with it. Pick the colors. I actually even tried cutting the inside out here of the hat and putting, like if you want 2 different colors up here. I mean, it was okay, but I preferred just using the color, the different color down here, or vice versa, you know. And then, of course, I leave this blank till I get ready to put a sentiment in it. But I could have some really fun with the inside of this. I mean, you can get snarky, especially, you know, depending on what team you are making your card. But, you know, I was thinking here on the hats off, you could put, here you got your happy birthday, you're the best, stamp that in there, you're the best, and then you could write ... but not so sure about your team, haha. Like I said, you can have some really fun with this stamp set. Like I said, it can even be female. Make your hats you know, more feminine colors. Put, you know, you could put like a flower here on the hat. Have fun with it. Use your imagination of things, you know, that people like, as far as your little emblem here that you want to put on the hat. Have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from it. And if you did, if you're interested in any of the products, again, below the video, my blog will be listed, and the link to my store. If you place an order through me, my host code for March is right over here, and that link is below the video. So I would appreciate a thumbs up if you like this video. And other than that, enjoy. Have a great week ahead. Until next time, bye.
With you, I can be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the